treat having some flavored water. And you know what? I want to say a couple things first. I love that getting on TikTok in my FYP pretty regularly are people that come on and go, "Have you had your water today?" And I just love that. And it's funny because I had some friends that I made along the way. Some of them still have, some of them we separated ways, but it was funny because I already, you know what, I want to thank Spirit because I've been steeped in enough indigenous ceremonies to really feel the sacredness of water. And so it's been an important part of my life. I've had my struggles with it, but I already knew the power of it and the importance of it. And it was one of the first things I started doing when I wanted to focus on my weight loss, which was just drink more water. And which a lot of people don't realize is it really does help. And oh, it's 10:42, and I was just thinking a downloads of like, you should do this video, talk about your weight loss. No, 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 no. It's just funny. It's like first world psychic problems, right? In any case, I wanted to get on and talk about perspective, and it's funny. I think that's why Spirit brought up the water thing because you know, for a long time growing up, before I got really, really spiritual, which actually, when I started to get spiritual, I used to tell myself a story that I couldn't drink just regular water because it didn't have any taste in it and it made me feel thirstier. And what's funny is that was true. This is part of what I talk about, what lots of people talk about with what you believe is true is true. And so I used to I used to tell myself that story, so I drank very little water unless I was doing like a big volunteering thing, like at festivals or rallies and things like that, which I've done a lot of. And then I knew that I couldn't afford to drink that much juice or soda or things like that, and two, I knew that my body needed more water anyways, and I was busy enough not to worry about the taste of it. But I struggled with my relationship with water. And it's funny, I feel like I might do another video that's like that. Like if you struggle with your relationship with water, that denotes a lot of struggles within, because we are like 80% water. And and most of the earth is water. Like water is sacred to so many different pathways. And like if you struggle with your relationship with water, reach out. I would like to help you shift that. In any case, it was when I learned that part of the reason that we like that lots of people have that problem, first of all. And actually, it's funny because it indicates what you need. When you drink water and you feel more thirsty after drinking it or your mouth feels dry, it's because your body's saying, I need more of that. That's the natural, like that's the genetic DNA, the physical body DNA, the karma that is like, I need more of that. So it makes you feel thirstier because it wants more of that. And when I learned that, and I went, oh, okay. And then I learned another fact that the body tells you it's hungry and thirsty with the same indicators, especially at first. Oh, that's funny. The song on the radio, Fifth Dimension, Up, Up, and Away. And what's funny is I just put that post up about like all the different, like the fifth dimension, the fifth key, the fifth element, all these different things. Anyways, um, there's so many things with that, and I just love that it's a dimensional thing. So in any case, when I learned that when the body is thirsty, it will give you the same feeling like it's hungry, I started playing with that and realized, at least for me, that that's very true. And then I started to develop a better relationship with water. And then I started to learn more about the scientific and spiritual aspects of how we eat and sugar in the body. And I started to develop a different relationship with food and treating it more sacred and more spiritual, talking to it while I'm making it or preparing it before I eat it, doing things like that. And it shifted how I felt about things, and it shifted it from I'm eating to feel good or because it tastes good or because I'm bored or nervous to I eat to fuel my body. I eat to think about, or how do I put it? When I eat, I think about what's the impact of today's food going to have on me this week, or what's it, if I eat in the ways that I'm eating, will that promote health in 10 years or 20 years? Or will it likely, will I end up with consequences of weight or physical problems in ways that I've been healing now from not having a good relationship with my body and food and water for a lot of my childhood and young adulthood, And that helps me, it also helps me be a better parent with my kids. But you see the perspective change in there, right? So it went from water doesn't have a taste and I really feel like I need a taste, and then it makes me feel more thirsty, and so I want to drink something that makes me feel less thirsty, not realizing that was my body's own way of indicating we don't want more of that stuff. That's why that's why the physical body is saying nope, it feels great, no more, and then when I had water and stuff, it was like more, right? But it's funny because it actually it affirmed what the story that I was telling myself. It was true. The perspective on it was that I was thinking that the way that my body naturally responded to the things I was putting in it or leaving out of it, that it was bad. And I was living in that victim consciousness in a space that a lot of us live in, and a lot of us have lived in. And oh, smile, a little smile for me by the flying machine. Reminds me of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. In any case, so what really came to mind when I wanted to do this Divine Nugget was it's a song, and it's that one, Every Breath You Take. Every breath you take, every move you make, every vow you break, every do, I'll be watching you, right? And what I've known for most people is that when they hear that song, I believe it's by the Police, they say that's a stalker song. And I don't necessarily disagree. What's funny is when I first heard that song as a kid and growing up, I just knew that it felt like a love song. I didn't hear anything in it that was like, I'm stalking you and I'll always be watching you. Like what I heard was, oh, somebody is they're being caring and they appreciate their person, and they're just saying like, look, when you make mistakes and you go through life stuff, I'll still be here. I'll be keeping an eye on you. Now tonight I had an interesting experience. I was watching a show, and they used that song, but they showed that it was, at least for them, it was more of a spiritual thing. It was spirit or God saying, look, you can throw fits, you can throw tantrums, you can tell me I'm bad and awful, that you don't love me, that you don't like that I gave you free will and didn't mess with things, or that you can feel however you want to feel. I'm going to be over here just adoring you just as you are, including those tantrums you throw, like, and it made me think about, too, like how a lot of us have evolved to become with our DMs, and even how a lot of them have become with us. And it really made me stop and think about, because I already know this and I teach it, though sometimes even when you know something and you're teaching something, there's still areas to grow in how we explain it and how we can pass on the vocabulary for somebody else to be able to go, oh, I see it. And my hope is that, when you hear things like that, in fact, I'm hearing the message, rethink the way you think about everything. It doesn't matter if it's your twin flame relationship, job, career, connection with spirit, like, even if it's only a small thing that you allow to be radically different, just like allow yourself to play with it. There's so many different things that, like, we have the choice in how we decide to take it. And really, like, the question shouldn't be, is the way I'm thinking about this righteous per se? It should be, do these thoughts promote the reality that I want to manifest? And if you think about, like, for me, it's, how does it make me feel about myself when I think about ABC in an XYZ sort of way? So when I think about the song, I'll Be Watching You, like it's some stalker song, what it feels like to me is like, I've had some moments in the past, I'm not the stalkery type at all. And I've been called that before. It really triggered me a lot in the past because I thought that it was really a commentary on how I was really being, and it wasn't. And I'm very aware that a lot of times, especially immature, unevolved feminine energy, we can get into that space of being stalkery, being, there's all the memes and jokes about how women are actually better private investigators than private investigators. And I've been in that space before too. So, like, I can see it from all aspects. Though when I think about that song as a stalkery song, I think that's icky, victimy vibrations. It's also in that never be vulnerable sort of thing. And also, I'm sure that when they wrote that song, like I've looked it up. I love looking up the stories behind songs. And like, it wasn't intended to be that way. That's the way that society took it because that's the vibration that we were collectively in. And it it causes me to stop and go, okay, so I don't feel great when I interpret the song that way. But you know what? I feel great about myself and about that song and about the collective when I think about, you know what? For me, that's it's like the song from, I know it's not originally from Sister Act, but it's how I remember it. Is that one there's not a man today who can take me away from my guy. And I believe that was fitted to that. I believe it was supposed to be my God in it. But like, I feel like it's beautiful as a song about spirit. And even if that's not the way it's intended to be, I can choose that that's how it exists for me because that helps me manifest and stay aligned with the realities that I want to be able to experience. And I do that. It's funny now, the song by the Beach Boys, God Only Knows, right? Now I've been practicing that with so many different things, including my DM, and every time I get into that space of how does this make me feel good about me as a person, as a being, as a light worker, as a friend, as a daughter, as a mother, as a partner, as a parent that teachers have to deal with. When I think about it, and I'm constantly reaffirming that I'm choosing things that make me feel like a good person, like an adorable person, like a fun person, like a person who's strong but within balance, a person who has healthy boundaries, easily communicated, that are flexible but not overly porous, like feeling like an intelligent person, feeling like a spiritual person, feeling like a magical person. And when I approach things from these perspectives, then that axiom that what you believe is true, then benefits me. And it continues to build on itself, and it's really fun too. Anyways, we're going on 13 minutes, so I'm going to end this here because it's just a divine nugget. Let me know if you'd like to hear more thoughts like these so you can turn your thoughts into things that please you. Until then, mwah, I love you, and I'll see you next time.